Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Alliance Agent Spotlight here on the Alliance Group podcast. And we have two extremely special guests with us today on the podcast, Gustavo and Marina Couto, leaders at the Brazillionaires group down there in Florida, and a Five Rings Financial. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Oh my gosh, it's an honor to be here in Stratton Studios and to be
Stratton
podcasting
Studios.
with you.
Like in the new digs, right?
Yeah, it's a pleasure being here with you guys.
Absolutely. You know, it's amazing to have you guys here. You guys have been just this unbelievable story within Alliance Group and within Five Rings. So to be able to sit down with you guys, get to know you a little bit better, let our viewers and our listeners learn a little bit about you. It's going to be fun. So let's start all the way at the very beginning, if you guys don't mind. How did you meet? I don't think I've ever asked you guys this.
We met in college.
In college? Where was this?
First year of college in Brazil.
Uh-huh.
So in Brazil, you tend to like stay with your one group who entered, like the whole class kind of takes the same classes all throughout. Uh-huh. So we were in the same class, and a few months, I think, after classes started, we had an eye on each other. Uh-huh. First was a little bit of teasing of each other, and like I don't like you, I don't like you.
Pulling her pigtails.
Yeah, exactly, kind of thing. But then we got together. That was August of 1994.
Yeah, what can I say? I was always a good salesperson. And I had my bald head because it's a tradition in Brazil for men. When you go to college, they shave your head before you start.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like the military
So
here.
can you imagine a completely shaved head going into school?
That was good salesmanship,
18
I'll
years
tell
old.
you.
Yeah, I had to work double time.
Just the guys, I guess.
Barely out of
Okay,
puberty,
great.
you know. So yeah, good salesmanship there.
Wow.
We've
So
been together ever since.
Okay, so then you guys moved. When did you move to the States, to Florida?
99.
99. Okay, and what were you doing before Five Rings Financial? I'll actually start with you, Marina. Before Gustavo sat down, and we're gonna cover that story. What were you doing before Five Rings Financial?
Right before, I was doing real estate, but not as an agent. I was doing real estate investments. So I was flipping houses, buying them, renovating them, and selling for a profit.
Okay. All right.
That was interesting. It was
Yeah, I'm sure, right? I mean, and I'm sure you actually take skills from that old life, and we all bring our previous experiences into what we're doing today.
Absolutely.
You were, yes. I want to say, I don't want to get this wrong, software? And
yes,
you were
I was
software.
in the technology field, but not doing software. I was a technology consultant for a large engineering company in the U.S. So I was always focused on working with technology.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me about the lead up to when you met. You know, we're going to talk about meeting Mary Fisher on a plane. Talk about the kind of lead up into that. Your mindset. Were you happy where you were? Were you looking for more?
I was content, but not necessarily happy or satisfied. And there was a point in our lives where I had a huge a realization that I was working to pay the bills, save some money, but not necessarily on my passion or with purpose. I lost my dad in 2006, and he came to visit from Brazil. He arrived in Miami. He was feeling a little neck pain, and it turns out it was a brain aneurysm, and he just exploded that same night. So he arrived Friday night. By Sunday, he was gone.
Oh, my gosh.
And that was a huge shock for me, for us, for all of us. Mm-hmm. But what hit me hardest was, okay, what have I been doing all these years away from home? I'm here. So what's the point of all the stuff we have? You know, stuff is just stuff.
Right.
What is my purpose in life? And that was 2006. So from 2006, I have that nagging thought in my head that I needed to do something more with my life. So it took about almost 8 years to 2013 when I met Mary.
Right.
And that's another whole story, a crazy story that we can share if you want.
Absolutely.
But
Let's go ahead and jump right into that. So I actually heard this story from Mary Fisher about a month ago. I was up in Virginia Beach, and we were having some drinks at a meeting after the meeting. And I said, listen, I need to hear the whole story from the horse's mouth. So now, the other horse's mouth.
The other side of the story.
The other side of the story.
So as I said, I was looking for a purpose. We moved around. We moved from Florida to Canada, from Canada to California, from California to Brazil, and back to California since 2006. You know, purpose was not where I was living. I changed jobs a few times. It was not in the job or profession, but I've been praying and I've been asking God to show me what's my purpose in life. And one night before, I was in Omaha, Nebraska, catching a plane to fly back to Fort Lauderdale, and they had a connection in Atlanta. So think about the connections in the world, right?
Right.
So I prayed to God and said, give me a vision, give me a dream. And sure enough, that night I had the clear dream that as I was walking out of the airplane, when you get out of the airplane and the speakers, the what they call it, the audio system, the PS system.
Right.
So they were calling, hey, we are calling Gustavo Couto out of this plane. We are calling you to teach people about money. And you're going to learn to sell. You're going to learn to do small things, and those things are going to become bigger and bigger and bigger. And that was my dream. So I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was creating the habits of, since I was praying so much, I wanted to hear the answer. So I was always recording every dream and everything that came to my mind. So I picked up my phone, didn't think twice, and I recorded if you could hear the recording.
Asleep.
Half as I just had a dream, and and I described the whole dream. And I turned it off, and I went back to bed because I was waking up early. So I had the first flight, connecting flight, and I could not remember the dream at all.
Right.
Just getting the mechanics of
you immediately forget the
getting
dream.
your stuff, going
and then
to the
over
airport,
the day, it gets fuzzier and fuzzier.
So I didn't remember the dream. I boarded on plane in Omaha, went to Atlanta for the connecting flight, and in Atlanta, I was in the middle seat. So I said, God, just give me a better seat. I don't want the middle seat. I'm a son of God. I'm going to get a better seat. So I went in there and I started talking to the guy in the counter to find a better seat, right? And this guy spent the whole boarding process on the computer, me looking at him, being friendly, nice, and he was trying to help, and I was being friendly to it. And he could not find any other seats. So essentially everybody boarded, and the lady that was doing the boarding, she said, okay, if you don't board now, I'm going to have to close the doors.
Right.
So I was literally the last person on the plane. And the crazy thing is, as I was walking in the plane, I saw all these empty seats on the window and aisle, and I was like, what happened? I mean, what the heck?
Right. There are plenty of seats on this plane.
I guess I was supposed to get the middle seat. So I got in the middle seat, and Mary's on my left, and there's another guy on my right. So I'm there, I put my headphones on, and I sleep on every flight. So I slept pretty much all of the flight, except for the last few minutes just before they were landing. I struck up a conversation with Mary. And long story short, what do you do when you have your family and then work and kind of stuff? And the question I asked her was, so what do you do? And here's what she said. I work in this company, and we teach Middle America about money. And that's exactly what I had in that dream, right?
Wow.
But I didn't remember the dream.
Right.
You
didn't even realize how big of a moment
I had
this
no
was.
clue about it. And I was like, something in the back of my head is like the Holy Spirit and the angels are like, you want to hear this?
All right.
Something told me, hey, you want to know more about that. And that's what I said to her. I said, that's pretty interesting. I want to know more about that. And she's like shuffling her bag for her card.
Yeah.
She did not have a business card on her. But I had mine. But it gets better. So I get my business card and I give it to her, and I never got her phone number. So I gave my card to Mary with my number on, and she took off, we took off, and I go home and I tell Marina, I said, I had this amazing dream, and I have a feeling it's connected to this lady I met on the plane, but let's listen to that dream again. I had a clear vision for my life. So I got the recorder on my phone, and I played the audio, and I was playing, and Marina was listening. I was like, oh my God, it has everything to do with that lady.
Wow.
And I don't have her connections. I have no way to reach out to her. I have nothing. And then I told Marina, I said, Marina, this is a connection. This is, to me, a clear message. It's God's way for us. I know if it's from God, she's going to text me. And I hit the table like this. As soon as I bang the table, my phone goes, bleep.
No way.
And it was like away from us. And I told her, that's her. And I had 100% certainty.
This is all true.
She's vouching for it. I tell you, it doesn't sound crazy.
Yes,
it sounds crazy,
I
right?
attest to all this being
We
true.
have an actual witness.
We have a
Yes.
witness.
That's amazing.
And unfortunately, I lost the recording, but I actually transcribed on my notebook. So I have the word for word what I said in that dream.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, I get the phone. It's Mary. And she's like, this is Mary from the plane. And I said, hey, I was just talking to you about my wife. And she's like, I know it sounds weird that I'm staying in a hotel. Why don't you guys come? I said, well, of course, we'll go see you. We'll have a cup of coffee and talk about it. So we met her the next morning. It was a Friday. We met her on a Saturday, right?
I want to say it was a Sunday.
Yeah,
No matter, but
over that weekend,
that's
the exact same weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
But the bottom line was Mary had to do what she had to do, right? She committed to sending a follow-up.
Yeah.
And she was hesitating, should I do it, should I not? And she said, well I'm going to do it. And if it wasn't for her sending that message, I would never be connected to Five Rings. But that's the true story. So when I met her at the hotel, and we went down to the beach, and she was drawing diagrams and explaining 5 rings on the sand in the Fort Lauderdale beach. And I was listening to her, and I'm already in. And she doesn't know that, right? So she's selling the thing and
she doesn't know about the dream at that point. So
at the end of the story, I said, Mary, I don't know what you believe in or not, but here's what it is. I believe in God, and I believe this is supposed to happen. I'm in. And then I told her the whole dream story, and she was sobbing and crying.
Oh, I can only imagine. Mary must have been just pouring
tears.
But the other side of it is she was also praying for that trip to be a good trip for her in her business. She was feeling guilty about coming to Florida in the beginning of her career.
Yep.
And sure enough, that's the connection,
That's unbelievable.
And that's how it happened.
That's
how it got started.
And that's how this whole thing started. And for those of you who don't know this whole thing, what it is that you guys have developed an enormous group underneath you full of exciting young blood in this industry that are just bringing more people in. And it's just the Brazillionaire group is such an amazing, energetic, different group, breed of life insurance agency that, being in my position at Alliance Group, I'm able to see lots of different agencies. There's nothing quite like you guys. What is it about your group that is so different than other groups, Marina?
I think, first of all, we are driven by mission. And we developed this mission soon in our career, even before we thought that we were going to be bringing this career to other people. Mm-hmm. But we wanted to make a difference in people's lives. We chose to help our community first, which is Brazilians who immigrated to the United States. So our mission was, we developed this mission, and we want to make the Brazilian community, the Brazilian immigrant community, the richest immigrant community in the United States. Yeah. Every client that we help, every family that we help, that's our goal. And it's going to take a long time, but we're going to do it one client at a time. And I think it was actually really believing in that mission that made us make the switch of it cannot be just the 2 of us. It's a big community, it's a lot of people. So we need to share. We need to share. We need to help more people. So that mission, from the beginning, that's what we sold, really to other people. I think we didn't even have so much the idea of the value of the career and how we were going to change people's lives through the career at that point. Mm-hmm. But we sold the mission, and all the Brazilians wanted to be part of that mission.
The mission being, you have people from Brazil who have come to the United States. They need help.
They need help with understanding the financial market here, understanding planning for their future, depending only on themselves, really taking power over their finances and their money. So people bought into that. And I think to this day, of course, the Brazillionaires see all the advantages of this career. I mean, in my opinion, the best career
Amen.
In the world.
Absolutely.
In every aspect. And people see that. But the added of that significance, people really yearn for that, to make a difference, and making a difference with your community, with people that went through the same things that you did, had the same kind of dreams that you did. Right. I think that's what unifies us, and I don't know, that's kind of the secret sauce, I think.
Yeah, it's amazing. What would you say, Gustavo, that kind of makes it just so different? I mean, to be honest, I go around and I meet with a lot of agencies. I love all of our agencies at Alliance Group. They're wonderful. But generally speaking, if you were to ask somebody, hey, if you walked into a life insurance conference, what would it look like? And they would say it looks gray, white, and old, right? And I mean, that's kind of what it looks like. And it's boring, and it's suits and ties and that sort of thing. Your guys' meetings look nothing like that. No. The polar opposite of that. So that's just more of a comment, I guess. But what would you say that sets you guys so apart from the average, agency?
I think in addition to what Marina is saying about the mission, which is a big deal, to me, we are very purpose-driven as a group. Everybody has a purpose of, doing good for their lives, increasing their families' finances, improving their finances, and at the same time helping other people.
Sure.
So you add those 2 things because it's part of what our profession really is, which is you cannot succeed or make money unless you help more people. Mm-hmm. So it's just a perfect combination of purpose and ambition to grow and look to increase our well-being overall.
Sure.
So that's one main factor. And the other key factor is we don't concentrate on like superstars on one star. I mean, the Brazillionaires is not Marina and Gustavo. It's all of us, right? And we are very focused on keeping a group as a united front, not individual groups within a group, not different teams, not different agencies. We're all working as one because we all agree when we are almost like we feel very solid that we are in the same boat.
Right.
Everybody, pretty much almost all of us, started in the career not knowing anything about the industry. Somebody invited us to a workshop, and here we are.
Right.
And so we all have to grow through the profession. We have to grow in the career. So it's almost like, hey, I found a way. I'm going to help you find a way. And as you stumble through it, I'm going to say, hey, I've been there before. Here's what I did. And now that I helped you, you're going to help somebody else. And we don't see the lines between organizations, the hierarchies. It's just a big group, all independent consultants, independent teams, independent agencies, but we work together a lot. And I
cheering
think
for each other.
And cheering for each other, supporting each other. So that comes across. I mean, if you go to the Alliance Convention, you see just
absolutely.
One guy goes in there, everybody's yelling and screaming, and we don't care what group he's part of, you know, he or she is are part of. So that's a big thing. And also in our culture, I mean, being Brazilian, being Latin, brings a different flavor, I guess, to it as well. We are loud, we talk a lot, and we talk loudly.
We love it.
We move a lot when we talk. We make a lot of noise.
Bring energy wherever you go. Yeah.
So it fits right in with the culture that Mike Wilk and Monica created for Five Rings Financial, which is a very loving, hugging and kissing. It's common for Five Rings Financial, and it's very common for the Brazilians. So we just kind of hand in glove. You know?
It's developing real relationships. That came from Five Rings, but it fits so well with the Brazilian culture. Like we meet another Brazilian and we are best friends in like 3 hours.
Yeah. It doesn't take that long.
It only takes one barbecue.
Right. So this is something that I've been thinking about a lot, spending the last few days with you guys as well, is the idea of leadership and about the importance of choosing the right leaders. Right. I was speaking earlier with actually even before that, Beatrice and Felipe, and they had the leaders in Rickson and Bianca, and they had the leaders in you guys, and you guys have Mike Wilk. It's something that I think Five Rings is very rich with. Yeah. You guys are rich in leadership, and you do a great job of passing the tradition of leadership and the responsibility. Now you have to help other people up,
right?
And so you're building these layers of leadership. Talk about how important it is to choose the right mentor in this industry, and how important it is to have a mentor, somebody that you can look up to.
I think having a mentor is important in every business, but especially when you're training people with zero experience in a career. I think the first obstacle they have is confidence. There's confidence in themselves. They don't know anything about this. It's intimidating because it's money. It's dealing with people's money.
Yeah,
so it's very intimidating. And people, they come, especially I think in our community, people sometimes have their confidence broken down even more because they used to have a career or a business or a profession in Brazil. And they came here, and for whatever reason, they couldn't do that. Sure. So they had to do whatever they needed to do to make money. And that breaks down their confidence a little bit as a professional.
Sure.
And having someone that believes in them before they can believe in themselves, it's the most important thing. More important than, let me teach you the product. It's just like, I was just where you were.
Yeah.
I just also went through this, and because of this system and this step by step, I'm only here because I followed the steps. Let me show you the steps and do it with me. I'll be right next to you.
Yeah.
And that is essential.
Yeah, and if I can add, I think it's a lead by example. I mean, you don't lead by telling people what to do. You lead by doing and let them observe it. I as you were talking about the leadership that we had, it doesn't stop with Mike. I mean, Mike has the Alliance Group as leadership.
Sure.
And National Life with Miran and others. I mean, all of those people are working to set the example. So I'll give you one example. In the beginning, when I was starting, I didn't know anything about the Alliance Group. I didn't know anything about the other MGAs that we have. It's a great organization, right? All I knew was Five Rings Financial, Mike Wilk. And the very first workshop that we did, Money 101, Mike Wilk came to Florida, and he invited Mario Mario from
Diaz,
Secure Life, Mario
right?
Diaz. And Mario comes and Mike introduces me to him, and I'm thinking, what the heck? It's a competitor, right? And he's like, no, he's a friend of ours. We are partners. We work together. Don't worry.
Amazing,
He's going to be a support. And Mario is, first time I met him, he has all this experience, great guy, and he shook my hands, and every time you need, here's my number. I picked him up on that because I was trying to learn. He said, come to lunch. So I had lunch with him. And not once a conversation came up about, hey, you should work for me because I'm here. Never. It was always, Mike is the greatest. You're in a great organization, the Alliance Group. It's amazing. If you need anything, I'm here. But you have all the support you need, and if it's good to know you, and that kind of behavior just sets the tone for everything, right?
It's amazing, isn't it?
He didn't have to do that.
Trickles down.
Mike didn't have to do that, but it just happened. And because of what you guys facilitate with the conventions, with the meetings, and the MGAs coming together, it's a fellowship. I mean, yeah, of course, we work different markets. One could think we are all competitors, but we're not. I mean, we don't have to. I don't have to take your client to be successful.
Exactly.
I'm going to be getting my clients. You're going to get your clients. If we cross-lap, we can talk and figure it out, right?
Exactly.
So that was the tone in the beginning. And I think that speaks to volumes to what the Alliance Group does. Together we're better. It's not just a phrase. I'm here as a true testament to that. That story was my very first example of that. Yeah. And it happens a lot with Mike. Mike and Monica are great. And all of the other leaders at Five Rings. I mean, we're only here because of Lyle and Tina, Andre, Mara, Mary. They were all helping us. I mean, Denise and Chris, Aaron, all of those people that were there before, they embraced us in and they helped us. So now we can help them, kind of a paying forward, paying back kind of deal, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the culture of the leadership that you're talking about. That makes a huge difference. At the end of the day, it's not about the extra 5%, 10% from other organizations. It's about who are you following, where are you connecting your career for the rest of your life? Where are you plugging in?
Yeah.
Who are you
hooking your wagon
who you connecting to? It's not just about the money. It's about the whole purpose in life, right? It's to have a good life and help others. You know?
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, I mean, you hear a lot about other organizations. You know, I'm in different groups, you know, where, you know, people talk about other groups in the industry. I do believe that we have something truly special here, where people like Mario, he had no benefit.
No, that lunch could be seen as a waste of his time, right? He's a busy guy.
Yeah, and his time is worth a lot. But when you, like you were saying, when you come to our conferences, you see these competitors, you know, hugging each other and catching up and asking about each other's kids, and it is a special atmosphere, and you guys are continuing that tradition. At the Brazillionaires, and I think it's fantastic, and I'm so happy for everyone that's coming up in that organization that they get to be a part of this with us, right?
Right.
So you guys, every team, you guys are very much a team. You guys are a superstar team. Every good team kind of plays off each other's strengths and has roles to play. You guys complement each other really, really well. So what are your roles in this team of two and what you guys have been able to build? Tell us kind of about the roles that you play within this team.
Okay.
I work for her.
That sums it up.
the CEO and
the grunt,
the muscle.
I think as we started, obviously just the two of us trying to build a business that could replace his income and my income, so that this could be our source. And in the beginning, we tried to both do everything, thinking that that's how we would leverage more our time. And we were quick to realize that was not the way to go. The way to go was to really have each divide and conquer and have each one work in their genius, is what I call it. You know, really do what you're really good at. Yeah. So I was mostly, like in the beginning, inviting to events, promoting events, creating events, doing relationships with, you know, influential people in the community, inviting them to the event so that we could get the right coverage, the right word out about what we were doing. And we started to get press coverage because of that. And we started to get partners and just good word out there in the community about what we were doing. Obviously, from that also came clients and came our first few recruits when we didn't even know what we were doing about that. and he was more actually dealing with the clients.
The front person, right?
Yeah, I probably sat in front of maybe 4 clients to actually
Right.
sell a policy. So he became.
So you set him up, he knocks him down.
Exactly.
That's exactly the way we did it.
That was how we did it. And then afterwards, as we started training people and building a team and building the agency, then I became more with the recruits, like recruiting the new people, like explaining what this career is all about, giving them the first steps, starting to develop our training program. Like now we have like an app, we have a Brazillionaires app with all our training in it. So what needs to go in there? Let's start building it. So like more things related to recruiting and training the new agents, especially in the first few steps, like before they get their license or soon after, how to invite for the events, because I wouldn't do like field training and the technical stuff, because that would be
kind of roadmap to follow.
Right.
So and then I kind of pick it up from there. If when people are up and running, I will do the training and the mentorship and helping them develop their career. Mm-hmm. So we do a lot of trainings on mindset development. We have a program called the $20,000 Club, which is a mindset training that I do for about 8 weeks with our team. And that creates a lot of momentum. And it's amazing because you put that number in there, people will start producing 20,000 either a week or a month or in 3 months.
Right.
So we kind of create those different roles, and that evolved on, okay, what is that I like doing and what is that she likes to do? We don't have
Usually
to
what
do
you're good at, right?
We don't
You
have
like
to
doing
do the
what you're good
overlap.
at.
Exactly.
Right.
So and that's what we have been doing is kind of dividing and conquer the process, and it evolves. As we grow, as the organization grows, these roles are going to shift a little bit.
Right.
Before it was all about she's going to find a client and I'm going to finish the financial planning and create the plans.
Right.
Now it's like, okay, we are building a team. So she's helping find people who want to be in the career, and I'm helping mentor on how do you do your planning for your clients, that kind of process. So it evolves, but it's the key thing is that we don't overstep our boundaries. And even coming here, we were discussing, okay, here's what we need to do next year.
Yeah.
Here's how, let's think about how we're going to divide that process and how we move forward.
That's amazing. So, you guys, it must be a trip for you to look around at one of these events. I was in Palm Beach recently.
Yeah.
You guys had 600 people. 600 people that came from indirectly or directly, second, third, fourth degree, whatever. It came from you two.
Right.
Right? This is your work.
That's crazy. Yes.
What is that like? What is that like to look around? I mean, how long did it take you guys to build this? You've been doing this how long?
It's our 9th year.
It's like, it's eight years. I think our first event was in beginning of 2014.
Is there a sense of, I mean, you look around, is it almost scary to see that many people? Like these people are our responsibility. I mean, we have created this. Look what we've done, right?
I'll tell you that for most of that big event, or the training camp that we just had, I was, maybe because I was really involved with the planning of the whole thing, and I had a surreal kind of feeling throughout most of it. But this week, during the party that we had, I was, it's funny, like the most unlikely moment, I was watching people dance in the dance floor. And I had such a moment. I got emotional. I was like, my God, these people are choosing a business for the rest of their lives because of what we started.
Yes, because of what we did.
Yes. And it's scary and exhilarating all at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot less scary when they're there because they're celebrating because they're having so much success.
That's right. That helps. Yeah. But it was like all these people, and I know all of them, some more than others, but I really know all of them. And I think that this week, I think I had I held on to that feeling the longest ever of like really feeling it and really like I'm having a moment here of seeing what we are building, not what we built, because we're definitely not done.
It's not done.
It's just the beginning. Yeah, I think for me is these every moment that we hear somebody saying what their life was before the career and the profession and what it is now. Yeah. It's another drop that keeps you going for another year or two. I don't know. It just recharges. It's almost like you're addicted to that feeling of, hey, my God, one more person, Yeah. Because I was in that position where, I didn't have a bad job or a hard job by any means, but I didn't have job satisfaction and purpose in life. And I think if you work for too long in a place where you're not fulfilling your purpose, sooner or later that bill will come. You know, whether it's a midlife crisis or depression, whatever it is, it's a big bill to pay for. You don't want to pay for it.
Right.
Better to change it now. So what I see more and more with these, 600 people in there, are all of them are looking for more in their lives, right? Yeah. Some will get it right away. Some will find that and find in another career. It doesn't matter what it is. I think Mike says it the best. We are a personal development company that sells life insurance to pay the bills. And I will say this, sometimes it's not even people who find their career passion with 5 Rings. I mean, I'll tell you the story. We had this lady that we brought into our national training camp from 5 Rings Financial. So we worked really hard to bring her in. She was all excited. It was very motivated. And she then disappeared. Last year, I went to visit one of my clients in his business. And there she is sitting in that business place. And she's like, her face lit up. Oh, you're here. Oh, my God, it's so great. I never had a chance to thank you. After that convention, my mind was completely changed. And I knew what I wanted to do with my life. And I found this job that tracks back to my career in architecture. And I'm so grateful because I was not in a good moment when I met you guys. I was in a very bad moment in my life, and my life was falling apart. And you guys helped me rebuild it. And I got so excited in the national training camp that I attracted this job. And here I am. You know? So sometimes it's not about all in the career. Sometimes it's about just giving people hope.
Yeah.
And they will get that hope, and they will find their path somewhere else, or with us. Sure. Hopefully it's all with us.
Right.
But I think it's the key in what we do, and not just us. I mean, what you guys do when you come here every day and you do these videos and these podcasts and you tell a story. Maybe there's another agent somewhere out there that's just about to give up, right? And he sees one more video, one more take 5, one more testimonial, and he's like, I'm going to stick it up. And then later, his life or her life changed completely because of that one decision that they made of not giving up. Yeah. So that's what it is. I mean, the 600 people in there, it's surreal to see so many people, but at the same time, it's so exciting. You know, I just want to keep on doing and repeating the process because every single person that changes, there's no price to it, I guess.
Yeah,
so it's amazing. Very cool.
Yeah. You guys are absolutely changing lives, and it's been amazing to see. It's been amazing to witness, and I cannot wait to see what you guys do in the next couple of years. You guys have some really big goals. Yes. Might as well make it official. Let's hear the goals. You guys just minted a new set of them.
Yes. The theme of this academy that we had with 5 Rings, the theme that Mike brought was creating the impossible, and a goal for 5 Rings to reach 75 million in production in 1,254 days as of a couple days ago. So like 1,252 by now.
Clock's ticking.
Clock's ticking. And we, as the Brazillionaires, claimed 50 million of that.
Oh, my goodness. 50 million.
It's official.
So we're going after it.
Internet now.
Yeah.
We're going to make it.
That's what Lee would call a BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal.
Absolutely.
The thing is I know you guys are going to do it. I know you're going to do it. I have learned to never doubt the Brazillionaires because if you do, they will take great pleasure in proving you wrong.
Yeah, that's the way.
We absolutely love that about you guys. So we have a little segment that we do called Rapid Fire Questions. And the idea of this is, don't think too hard. Just spit out the first thing that comes to your mind. We try to have fun with this. We're going to let the ladies go first with Marina and ask you a series of questions, starting with.
So all for me and not like.
No, we're going to go. You answer and then he answers. Okay, then I'll go to the next one. Yes.
So it gives me extra time.
Exactly. Yeah. A little advantage there.
You need that.
Yes.
What's your favorite drink, Marina?
Caipirinha.
Rum and Coke.
Very nice. What is caipirinha?
Caipirinha is a very Brazilian drink. It can be made with vodka, then we call it caipirosca, but it's a special liquor that comes from the sugar cane. It's called cachaça. And the traditional version is with lots of lime and lime, not lemon.
Very important.
Lime and sugar and ice and that.
So citrusy.
It's very citrusy, the original. But nowadays, you can make it very different flavors.
You
can
never
make it
had a
strawberry.
caipirinha?
No.
Oh, you gotta be
Sam,
kidding
are
me.
you
Sam,
kidding me? I
Come
thought
on,
for
man.
sure you were gonna say me too.
Everybody had it.
the
When you go to
steakhouse?
Brazilian
Oh,
steakhouse,
I think
that's
I
what
did.
you
You're right,
you
I
had
did.
that.
I'm sorry. I actually ate so much that night that I blacked out. I think it was the eating that blacked me out.
Yeah, for sure. Or maybe too many caipirinhas.
My personal favorite is actually the passion fruit caipirinha.
Oh, yeah? Okay, all right. Passion fruit caipirinha. That's a very specific answer to favorite drink. Morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
Morning too.
I had a feeling you guys would both say
Yeah.
that. I also knew the answer when Rickson was answering that question. Your favorite subject in school?
Math.
You guys are also the first people to say that.
Really?
Everyone else has said, which is very worrying in the life insurance industry, they've all said it was their worst subject. I was like,
Oh, wow.
right, math. That's good. And what was your worst subject?
History.
Religion. I just don't like memorizing stuff.
Well,
I just didn't do
same
very
reason why I
well.
didn't like history.
Right? Yeah, exactly. What advice would you give your youngest self?
Oh, just believe in yourself, and everything passes. Nothing, no hardship, no challenge or obstacle is forever. Everything can be overcome.
That's wonderful. Wonderful advice.
Oh my God. Never give up.
Yeah.
That's
Never give up.
good enough.
Maybe don't be scared of the middle seat.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Right where we are. I love Florida. I don't have any. We moved around enough in our life. I think I got that out of my system.
Well, you live in a beautiful part of Florida, so that helps.
I do want to leave oceanfront at one point, but like still in Florida probably.
Gotcha.
Yeah, same thing. And we traveled a lot, and I love being in the United States. I love being in Florida. So
Boca.
we're good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Boca is beautiful.
Absolutely. Any phobias?
Bats.
Bats.
Not have enough money in a bank account.
That's probably mine too. That's mine too. All right. What do you believe is your best non-physical feature?
I think communication.
Good
In general,
communicator.
yeah.
Yeah. I think to me is my ability to teach, sell, and inspire.
I love that. The ability to teach. You know, Lee and I were talking the other day about the best way to learn is actually to teach it.
There you go.
It is so true. Whenever I do a training, like I've set a goal for myself. Like if there's something that I'm not sure about that, if you learn enough to teach it to other people, first of all, you're going to learn a lot there. But then when you actually do the teaching, you answer the questions people ask, that's how you.
So many people are afraid of that. They think they can only teach if they are the absolute expert, have no doubt about the subject at all, have been doing it for 1.5 million years, and it's not like that. You only need to know a little bit more than the people you're teaching.
That's very true. It's very true. Okay, last one. This is a deep one.
Ooh,
what would you change about yourself?
what would I change about myself? I think.
Lay down on my couch.
Oh my gosh.
Put your feet up. The psychiatrist is in the office.
I'd be a little bit more, I think, organized with my time. Like I'm very right brain and
No, I imagine you guys have a lot of
fluid
things
and
going
those
on at all
things.
times.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I could do sometimes a little
Time
better
management.
with time management.
Yeah, I think I would relax a little bit more. Sometimes I don't take time to rest. A little too intense, but taking more of a 5-minute break on the beach.
Yeah.
Sometimes I stay 5 minutes quietly, and then I'm bored.
And then you're like,
I
oh, I
wanna
should
work.
make an Instagram video
Let
about
me get a
this,
book.
social media video.
Yeah.
Let me get a
Your
book.
work.
Let me find another strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, Gustavo Marina, you guys are just unbelievable. And thank you so much for being here with us and for sharing with us. And we hope to see you guys again really, really soon.
This was a lot of fun.
It was a
Thank you.
pleasure. Thank you very much. It was
having
awesome.
us.
Thank you, guys.